one event made a headline all week long after Australia, the UK, and the US unveiled their plan for their new and controversial security alliance known as AUKUS. The three leaders have come together to announce not just a major arms deal, but also a historic strategic partnership. Reaction to this plan are mixed. Some supported it, some criticized it, and some just don't wanna get dragged into a conflict between two great powers. So today, let's break down what this week announcement is all about and what the impact will be for Australia and the region. Stay tuned. Speaking alongside his UK and US counterparts, the Australian Prime Minister announced the decades-long plan for Australia to acquire nuclear-powered attack submarines or SSN. Developed in the 18 months since AUKUS announcement, Phase 1 of the plan will see US submarines ramp up port visits to HMAS Stirling starting this year, with the UK following suit from 2026. Then it will be followed by a rotational presence at HMAS Stirling starting 2027. This presence to be known as Submarine Rotational Force West or SRF West and will include as many as 5 SSN made up of both British and American subs. This deployment will serve as important training opportunities for both Australian submariners and the Australian submarine industry. Training will commence this year with Australian personnel embedding aboard US and UK submarines and in their respective submarine enterprises. Phase 2, Australia will buy 3 existing Virginia-class submarines from the US with an option for 2 more starting early 2030s. In order to supply Australia with the Virginia-class submarine, Australia will pay more than 3 billion Australian dollar over the next 4 years to pay for upgrades to the US defense industrial base. In return, as well as the subs themselves, Australian shipyard ASG in Adelaide will be incorporated into a now global Virginia-class supply chain. The third phase is the important one. The plan is to design and build a new nuclear-powered submarine for the British and Australian navies using British design with US technology. As many as 8 of the new submarines known as SSN AUKUS will replace Australia's Virginia-class starting in the early 2040s. It will be powered by a Rolls-Royce reactor and include VLS tubes. ASG is expected to build the Australian version of the subs. With this new submarine plan, now the fate of the Colin class Life of Type Extension or LOTE program is unclear. Some speculate that it may be cancelled or rolled back. As it currently stands, the LOTE program is set to begin in 2026 with HMAS Farncombe being overhauled. But if we look at the submarine's rotational deployment timeline, overhauling the Colin class might be unnecessary, although it will make Australia highly dependent of its allies for some time. Before the SSN AUKUS design is finalized and ready for construction, Australia will operate 3 to 5 Virginia-class submarines as a stopgap measure. So let's take a look at this boat a little bit. Virginia-class is the US Navy's latest submarine model, which incorporates the latest in stealth, intelligence gathering, and weapon system technology. The lead boat was laid down in 1999 and commissioned in 2004. 21 submarines are in service today with the US Navy, divided into Block 1 to Block 4. Currently, 5 more Block 4 and 6 much larger Block 5 are under construction. The Virginia class is 115 meter in length, 10 meter in diameter, and has a displacement of 7,800 tons. Speed is said to be greater than 25 knots, while for her range, we can say it's unlimited. Because with a nuclear reactor, she can operate for months without the need for refueling for about 33 years of her service life. The Virginia class can accommodate 135 sailors. For armaments, the Block 1 to 4 is equipped with 12 VLS tubes carrying Tomahawk cruise missile, 4 torpedo tubes for Mk-48 torpedoes or Harpoon missiles, and a space for 25 torpedoes and missiles inside the torpedo room. Meanwhile, the Block 5 will see 28 additional Tomahawk cruise missiles to be carried inside what is called Virginia Payload Module or VPM. How's the world reacting to this plan? Since the announcement of AUKUS back in September 2021, China has repeatedly criticized it. And on Tuesday, its foreign ministry accused the three nations of walking further down the path of error and danger. China's UN mission also accused the Western allies of setting back nuclear non-proliferation effort. In Southeast Asia, where one of the flashpoints with China is located, the reception are mixed. Some support it and some against it. But from what I see, most countries just don't want to be forced to choose between the economic benefits they gain with China against security benefits they gain from the US and its allies. But what caught my attention the most is the reaction of the Australian public, which turned out some have criticized this plan. One of the reasons is the high price Australian taxpayers must pay to fund this plan throughout its life cycle. The exact cost of the AUKUS program hasn't been publicly disclosed, but it's reported between 286 to 386 billion Australian dollar, or around 190 to 257 billion US dollar until 2055. And they argue most of it will benefit the UK, the US, and their submarine enterprises. Besides having to spend the biggest amount for this alliance, Australia must also keep the waste from their nuclear submarines as well. I'm still not sure if the nuclear waste from the Virginia class they procured will be their responsibility too, but for the SSN AUKUS, definitely is. It might not be an urgent matter since the first reactor that they will need to dispose of will be in the mid-2050s, but there is already resistance from local communities. My personal thought about this submarine plan is, I think this is a positive thing not only for Australia, but also for the Indo-Pacific region. Australia has been planning to have new submarines for a decade, and countries in the Indo-Pacific region, especially in the South China Sea, have been resisting China's assertiveness with little to no effect. So from what I see, this submarine plan is aligned with both needs. Australia will finally get their dream submarines, while Southeast Asian countries will get added security assurance of their sovereignty. Personally, I like to see this deal as a deterrence to keep one of the parties in check rather than an open invitation for war. Some might be alarmed over the potential of the nuclearization of the region. But just what President Biden emphasized, it's just nuclear-powered submarines, not submarines with nuclear weapons. So it doesn't have any difference with US carriers, which often pass by and visit the region. And remember, this security alliance and this submarine deal won't be necessary if China plays by international rule and doesn't bully its neighbors. That's it for today, AUKUS submarine deal and its potential impact on the region. What do you think about this deal? And if there's Australian brothers watching, do you support or against it? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching everyone. I'll see you in the next one.